Why, hello and welcome everybody. It is Pohx again. I'm really hungover, but that's not the point. Anyway, today, in this video, I want to kind of go over a little bit of a build that I kind of want to play, not for Prophecy, but for actual just Path of Exile Ascendancy. Of course, you could obviously modify everything that I've created to just work for Prophecy once the patch notes come out. But if you guys are familiar with the skill Lightning Strike, I wanted to make a Lightning Strike character based around something I haven't done before. Now, I've done Lightning Strike from Deadeye, and I really like Lightning Strike Deadeye, and it did a lot of damage. But I personally felt that it didn't have what was required to properly survive. It didn't have enough defense on it. So then I wanted to remake it as a champion because, well, add Fortify and everything's all of a sudden really good. And I still think that may or may not be the best route. And to do that, you just simply put the points in here and you're good. But someone on my stream suggested, why don't you try it from an Inquisitor? Because for people who don't know, let me just bring up Lightning Strike. You know my face when I type Lightning Strike, but don't type PoE at the end of it on Google, and then a Lightning Strike pops up IRL. Alright, Lightning Strike has 50% of physical damage converted to lightning, and then if you just add physical to lightning, it's now 100% conversion. With 100% elemental damage, going Inquisitor, you get Inevitable Judgment. Let me enable this node so you guys can actually see it. Captured layered windows. Here you go, boys. Inevitable Judgment states that critical strikes ignore enemy elemental resistance, meaning whenever you crit, it bypasses it. So no lightning penetration, and you're already not running an offensive curse. The only curse you would want to run here would be like Assassin's Mark. Or like Warlords or something. Now, I decided to go with Staves. One, I kind of went Staves to be kind of like a hipster, if that makes sense, because, well, I feel that they're a very strong source, like they're a very strong weapon, but they're very niche. And then obviously by staying left side of the tree, you can actually get some pretty cool nodes. So, Serpent Stance gives you Blunt Trauma, which knocks back enemies if you get a critical strike, which is very good with Lightning Strike. And then you get Serpent Stance, which is just in general very good. This is all crit and crit multi. The other unique staff nodes is you get a little bit of block, which the block's not bad. It's pretty neat. It's just 2% block, 2% block. Then we have 6% additional block chance. So this alone, these 3 points is 10% block. 10% chance to gain a power charge when you block. I don't really think that this is going to do anything, to be honest. I can't see myself blocking anything, really, because of playing Lightning Strike. I'll be a screen away from most mobs. The only way I can see myself sustaining this is against like a Reflect monster. I don't think I'm going to run into a Reflect mob that often. But that is something to just note. The other part that makes me really sad is this part. So like 10% chance to gain Endurance Charge on melee critical strike. This does not work with Lightning Strike unless you punched him in the face with the actual melee part of Lightning Strike. But the whole point to use Lightning Strike is for the projectiles. So unfortunately, I cannot gain Endurance Charges from this, which makes me very, very sad. The other part that's sad is there is a weapon that I really wanted to use, and I don't know where I put it. I put it here somewhere, I promise. Here it is, here it is. Hegemony's Era. Hegemony's Era is a pretty good, pretty insane physical damage two-hander for Staves, if I remember correctly. That rolls up to 8.5% crit, which is pretty fucking nuts, right? That's really good. And then it has here 10% chance to gain a power charge if you knock an enemy back with melee damage. The problem with Lightning Strike is Lightning Strike's projectile is not melee, it is a projectile, which kind of sucks in that regard because it's it could have been so good. Like if this worked for it, this would be insane. I would be getting endurance charges off screen and I'd be getting power charges off screen. The only other way I can see myself gaining power charges is if I use like Herald of Ice, Curse on hit, Assassin's Mark, and I just throw in like an Ice Bite. And the reason why that would work is even though you hit 2 screens away, what'll happen is as long as you do enough damage to chill or to shatter, which you will because you're running Hatred with Wed, that one target will get hit from it, it'll shatter, and when it shatters, all the surrounding monsters will get debuffed with Assassin's Mark. I don't know how reliable it's going to be, but It's probably my only way of generating them without using the Acuities Amulet, which doesn't have any life on it. Alright. Now, the other thing about staves, though, is I want to go ahead and say, like, this whole section here is pretty good. The 30% armor plus the 10% armor, so it's 40% armor. Then here we get another 10%, or sorry, 20%. So 60% armor for basically 4 nodes, I would say is pretty nice. Some weird parts about the build definitely is the fact that if you're going Inquisitor and you're going crit, you need Volpact. So you got to make the trek from Templar to Shadow. And on this journey, I'm so up in the air at what to grab, really. You know, like, I've got the option for Sovereignty here. I've got the option for Charisma here. I've got, like, this whole entire extension in Shadow that I want right here, but I can't get it. You know, I've got like, IRs chilling here if I wanted to go Grace. Frenzy charges are here. Fuck, how do I not have Destroyer? That's 2 points. There we go. Get Destroyer. There's like so many things that I need, but it's already very point heavy, you know, so I don't want to add it on anymore. But basically, again, the whole point of it is you would get your Inevitable Judgment. Righteous Providence is very good as well. 100% increased critical strike chance against enemies that are affected by no elemental status ailments. The reason why this is good is because white mobs die in 1 hit. Even blue mobs can die from just 1 crit lightning strike that'll pierce everything. 100% critical strike chance. Basically, you're rolling the dice to get your crit off to one-shot the mobs. For the rares that take more than 1 hit, when they're hit, if I'm running Herald of Ash, which I will be, they'll be affected by an Ignite, which won't really deal much damage. It'll be okay. But now you gain the 45% crit multiplier because they have a status ailment on them. And then, of course, you get crit multi here, crit multi here. Now, this one is kind of up in the air. I went Augury more for the defense mechanism because I'm not going to be able to off-screen every boss. It's not going to happen. There are going to be some guys that jump in my face. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. But for the most part, I'm going to assume that that's not going to happen. So Augury, I feel, will allow anything that's next to me to take a multiplier of damage. If I decide to go melee with, like, Molten Strike, because Molten Strike's pretty insane. The thing is, Molten Strike with knockback is kind of a little... So we'll have to see exactly how that works. But that's one of them. The other option is just going with Instruments of Virtue, which would give me 10% increased attack speed if you've attacked recently, which is all the time. So basically a 10% attack speed steroid. These are pretty much the same. I mean, one gives attack speed, the other one gives elemental resist. This gives 40% attack damage if you cast a spell recently. I don't know what spell I would be casting. I don't know if War Cries are considered spells anymore. I don't really want to have to use Flame Dash. I'm kind of sick of, like, juggling different mechanics to keep buffs up. You know, I'd rather just have, like, a more solid character. So I think I'm actually going to do Augury and go with Molten Strike. Now, before I talk about how I'm going to level this character and that I will be playing it, I actually started it. You can see I've been playing for 6.5 hours. I've got 8 skill points remaining on level 14. This is from the drunk stream yesterday. Also show you guys my top tier links. We're currently using Lightning Strike, linked to Freeze Pulse, Glacial Hammer, and Elemental Hit. It's the new cast on crit. But before I show this to you, I wanted to say something else. I don't remember what I was going to do. I don't remember, so I'm just going to go over how to build it. Now, again, I don't know... Oh, yeah, Lion Eyes Vision, that's right. Lion Eyes Vision PoE. Lion Eyes Vision is a chess piece that I always wanted to use on Lightning Strike. But I could never find a proper use for it because if you're playing the right side of the tree, you're typically going Evasion unless you want to go IR. But if you go IR, you might die to Reflect, so it's kind of like, eh. But I decided to say, fuck it, you know, we'll pick up the Duelist Leech, potentially use a Life Leech gem as well if we need to, and we'll see where it goes from there. So, what Lion Eyes Vision allows us to do is, one, it's a unique that actually gives 100 life, so that's great. A unique that actually gives me life, holy shit, that's amazing. This physical attack damage leeches mana. I don't think it's actually going to do anything. It's just whatever, because I'm picking up this for the 0.4 leech anyway. There is a chance that I could just remove this, but I think that the life leech is very good as well. So that is one thing to note. Socketed gems are supported by level 15 Pierce. It's got decent armor. You know, this armor will be nice on the scaling when you scale the percentages, plus using like a Rumi's concoction. But for people who are, let's see, who are curious, the Pierce support gem was buffed quite a while back, but the Pierce support gem now gives a multiplier to damage. So it's actually not that bad. A level 31 Pierce gives you 29% more damage. Now, the reason why this is cool is you've got a 50% chance to pierce here, and you should have a 40% chance to pierce from Lightning Strike itself. It's 2% chance pierce per quality, so that would be 40%. 40 plus 50 is 90. So between the Pierce support gem and a quality Lightning Strike, you have a 90% chance to pierce. And that pretty much covers your mechanic of clear speed, basically. So I'm pretty stoked for that. The build outline is pretty nice as well. Again, just to go over it really fast. All I really care about is the defense, because I'm very confident the build does enough damage with the Hegemony's Arrow. We get 5 jewels at the bottom. I know you can't see right here, but you get 5 jewels. And we get, let me just disable this. Where is it? Where's the life value? 175% life. Now, it's a bit point heavy. That's how I make my builds, though. And you do have the option of dropping damage and getting more life. You've got thick skin right here. You've got the duelist life right here. You've got the shadow life up here. Nullification is 1 point as well. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and explain what I'm going to do for the build. So I'm going to start off with obviously my mana regen in life come out. I think what I might do, just to take the bullet and spend in a few extra points, because this is oh fuck, this is a good node. That's 5% life. I think what I'm going to do instead is go 1, 2, 3, like this. Just because this is giving me armor, and I am wearing a lionized vision. But it doesn't really matter until I get the lionized vision, so I don't really know what I'm going to do here. I don't know, yeah, this is kind of like up in the air. I'm pretty sure it's the better way to go. Grab precision for the accuracy, move up, grab retribution for the, basically, I guess just the attack speed. Maybe I don't even need to get this shit. It's not even that good. Maybe I'll need the int for later on for like hatred or something. What's my stats? No, I don't know. Okay, so maybe potentially don't need retribution. Alright. Let's move down. You don't want to use blunt instruments right away with this, because you're not going to use staff right away. If you want to, you can. Moving across to the left, grab your catalyst. Alternatively, you could do something fancy and like come through the LE damage. I figured out this to be the best way. Move through with devotion. Again, you're not going to pick up your staff wheel right away unless you want to level with staves. And because you're not picking it up right away, you don't actually need to come anywhere up here. This is all just crit, basically, with life. If you can get your power charges working, use power charges. So from here, we're going to move across. I really do want to grab martial expertise, or martial experience. It's not that good, but it does give me fizz, accuracy, and attack speed. So it's kind of up in the air right now whether or not I'm going to use it. Again, it's kind of a minor node, but it's something. It's something that's not too bad. Alright, moving onward, we're going to go through Scion. You don't need to pick up all the life right away. You can if you want. Move through. Come all the way down here. Now, once you're down here, what I would recommend is it's up to you. You can connect through like this, or you can go down the way that I went. Connecting through here is probably going to be better. You can grab your Art of the Gladiator, which is a huge steroid. Accuracy, attack speed, ignore movement penalty. Grab Bravery, Master of the Arena, Destroyer, come through, get your Fury Bolts, and of course you don't need to get any of this at the moment. Your Leech, I would probably say start getting your Leech by maybe, I don't know, I have no clue. Before maps, definitely before maps you want to have your Leech ready. Other than that, I couldn't really tell you. Lightning Strike only costs 6 mana. It's not really that hard to sustain. After that, I'm probably going to move across through here, move up, grab your Ballistic Mastery, get your Vol Pact so you don't die to Reflect. You're probably going to have to modify this and get Vol Pact sooner, because you probably want Vol Pact by like level, I don't know, 70, 75, whenever you really start to feel you're doing damage. Probably, honestly, when you get your Hegemony's Arrow, you'd want Vol Pact, assuming a Hegemony's Arrow is the weapon I'm going to be using. And then from here, I moved up 3 points to grab Coordination, which is some more attack speed, which is one of our most valued stats. Blood Siphon for the life. Trickery, because it's elemental damage and crit. And then finishing with Assassination. You can pretty much modify this however you want. Again, I do want things like Sniper and fucking Fangs of the Viper. There's a lot of things I'd like to get. Unfortunately, I just don't know how I'm supposed to get them. Like, even Will of Blades for 2 points. That's extra crit. You know, I'm going to need as much crit as I can. For some people, because I know people are going to bring this up about disemboweling. Disemboweling is melee critical strike. You're scaling the projectile. This will not work. It should not work, at least. So that's why we don't touch this. Now, as for our bandits and our links, this is kind of what I've came up with for right now. I don't know exactly what I'll be doing, but we've got Lightning Strike, Wed, Multi-Strike, Fizz the Lightning, Increase Crit. This is like my go-to 5-link. The reason why you want Increase Crit over another multiplier is because if you're playing Inquisitor, when you crit, you bypass Elemental Resist. If you don't crit, you don't, meaning you do no damage. So I think this is very important. PPAD, which is Physical Projectile Attack Damage, should actually be better than Added Fire. The reason why is I believe Added Fire is about 5% less damage than PPAD, like when you actually compare numerics. But the reason why I like PPAD is Ignites whatever. PPAD is going to scale the physical, which is going to scale the lightning damage, which is going to scale the cold damage. So that's why I would prefer to use PPAD. And then, of course, Pierce is already built in, so you don't have to worry about that. So your 7-link is either PPAD / added fire / I guess crit damage / faster, if you want faster attacks you can use it, / power charge, I don't know, power charge on crit if you want. What else can we use? And life leech. Life leech is still, I don't know how much leech I'm gonna need to keep myself alive. So this is definitely something I need to look at as well. That's pretty much gonna be the video for you boys. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and just copy the word pad along with this build, and I'll put it in the comments within like 15 minutes to an hour because YouTube fucking hates me whenever I try to do it. So this shit is copied for you boys. I think it's Control-E. Got it. You hear that elephant? Fucking just got pissed off at me IRL. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful time. In some of my next videos, I'm going to go ahead and bring up my closet because I pimped out my closet and it has LED lights in it now. Don't ask, just accept it, alright? That's all you got to know is that closet right over there has LED lights. And I do need to go over one of my rips in Grim Dawn because Grim Dawn has the same mechanic as PoE, which PoE removed and then kind of brought back with Piranha's mobs, called shotgunning. And that'll be kind of fun to go over and explain why I don't believe shotgunning should exist in games if it can, you know, literally insta-kill anything. Other than that, we'll see what's on the horizon. But for now, hope you guys had a wonderful time. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Again, thank you for all the support and for watching. I hope to see you guys all tomorrow. And if you guys liked the video, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful time, everybody. Remember, you can catch me live streaming at twitch.tv/Pohx. I'll see you boys all later. Have a wonderful time, and take care, everybody.